Well, we love it. You know, having the JU Dolphin brand right beside the ESPN3 brand, in this case, albeit the ESPN3 specific brand, it's good branding for us. It's a high market value for us. I mean, the way I look at it is we've got 514 student athletes, 19 Division I sports. 75% of our student athletes come from outside the state of Florida. So when you have that great a proportion of our kids that are outside the state, one of the things that helps us in recruiting is to be able to say, hey, mom and dad, you're going to be able to dial in ESPN3, high definition, great quality, and watch your student athlete play their respective sport. That's a big deal for us. Well, you know, the cool thing about that truck is I had nothing to do with it. I'm going to tip a cap to Corey Gaynor and to Todd Vatter, who, when we were putting together the plan to put into place all of the ESPN3 production requirements, Corey came to me and he laid it out and said, hey, Doc, look, we can meet these requirements, and we're going to have enough money left to have a mobile capability. And I said, okay, in English, tell me what all that means. He said, well, you can either have a fixed facility, a fixed studio, or we could load all of these goodies, all this state-of-the-art ESPN3 HD equipment, put it in a mobile van where we can actually mobily broadcast all 19 sports. I talked to some of my brothers and sisters in the AD community in the Atlantic Sun, and very few chose to do that, mainly because they didn't have enough money to do it. But what Corey Gaynor and Todd Vatter were able to do is save enough money from the money that was allocated from the conference for these acquisitions. We added a little bit of our incoming money from the ASUN that we get annually. We were well within budget, and so we got a great air-conditioned mobile capability that really not only puts us on the map in terms of being able to broadcast all 19 sports, not just from a studio environment, but in a field environment. The other thing is this van's all over town, and it's a good-looking van. And with a great partnership from Coggin and JU were able to put our decals and monikers and logos all over this thing. And I got to tell you, of all the things we do that are great in JU athletics, that van gets more publicity and more eye time and is more eye-catching than anything else we do. So it's really worked out well.
Everything starts with our director slot, which sits right here. Right here we have our carbonite switcher. It allows us to give us 4 different camera angles and 2 replay angles. Right now you're seeing last night's basketball game. We got 2 different replay angles, one here, with 4 cameras. Also with here, you're able to do your expressions graphics. All of our ESPN3 graphics are pushed right through here with all of our different wipes, which allow us to be on that ESPN caliber that we need to be. Right next to the director, we have our replay system. This is the 3-play system from NewTek. It is able to take us 4 different angles, which we can show simultaneously, that allow our play-by-play guy to follow the game more closely. It shows us different calls on the court from 4 different angles where we can get nice and close, slow him down, and allows him to follow the game better on ESPN. Sitting behind the director in the replay is our audio and utility guy. He is in charge of making sure all the mics on the play-by-play work, all the mics on the rims work, all the mics on the floor work, make sure everything's getting a program feed, making sure everything's going. Right here you have the 32 input digital mixing board from Behringer. It allows us to basically have as many mic feeds as possible. Everything is connected right into this through different switches in the back. Everything has to come through this board before we can go live on ESPN. Everything has to be tested. Everything is basically controlled. This is the mind of the broadcast right here. And our front seat holds our expressions graphics machine. That is our final piece for our ESPN production. That allows us to have all the ESPN graphics, the score bug, the intros, the outros, the ESPN replay onto our live production feed to make it be a real-life ESPN broadcast.
As an academician, as an AD who loves academics and combining athletics with it, this is a great opportunity for us to partner with our College of Communications. And with that department, who has Emmy Award winners in it, has a lot of students that are a part of it, we have students on internships right now from our communications department that are learning the operations of an ESPN3 HD production, and that's a big deal.
It's a great resume builder. It's a one-of-a-kind of experience. And I think that type of experience is what might entice other students to come to JU. You know, it shows that we are serious, like Dr. Horner said before, and that this is a trusted program, and that this is a way you can break into the industry, no matter what major. I've learned how fast-paced everything is. You know, when you watch a game from ESPN, you don't really realize how much is going into it. Each replay, each scene, each angle. It shows you, you know, how to put a whole piece of work together and do it efficiently for live television.
Well, I think what this does is it tells our student athletes and our coaches in particular that we're serious about this. If we have a Division I sport, we're committed to it. We love our relationship with our local broadcasters, whether television or radio or 1010XL or so forth. But you have to have a national presence. If you're going to be taken seriously as a mid-major Division I FBS or FCS program, as we are, you have to have the capability to go national and go live at really at the drop of a hat. So I think what this does, it's a statement, and I really commend the Atlantic Sun, the presidents, and the commissioner for doing this because we're out front.